We finished watching the summer 2025 anime season, so now it's time to do our tier list. As you can see, we dropped quite a few shows, and it wasn't that they were all bad or terrible or anything like that. It's just that most of them did not hold our attention longer than 3 episodes, except for Hagakura, which was legitimately terrible.
Called out.
So the drop section this time is more about personal preference than it is about any discussion of quality for those shows.
Like, there was even a few in the dropped that had really strong first episodes.
Starting off, we have the 4th season of Rising of the Shield Hero. This was fairly average. I'm sure a lot of the community feels like they don't even want to bother with it anymore, but I feel like it's still interesting enough as a fantasy show to keep going and hoping that maybe things would get better. I don't know. Then we have the Shy Hero and the Assassin Princesses, which I thought was a lot of fun. I got some good laughs out of it, so probably average.
Yeah, it had some good moments.
For New Saga, I wasn't quite as completely happy with it as an experience as I was for Shy Hero, but I still think it's on the same tier because there wasn't anything blatantly wrong with it, and it did have a lot of interesting story pieces.
Yeah, I think that's fair. They set up a good world and kept the story moving at least.
You're going to hate me, but I want to put Clevatess in runner-up instead of best of because there's just some things that they could have done better, some things that I didn't agree with, but like overall it was still a really compelling story.
Yeah, it's fair. It didn't quite hit the mark of best, but it definitely stood out above the rest.
Secrets of the Silent Witch also is another show that could have done a lot better with the first part of the show and the last part of the show in particular, and so that's probably also runner-up.
You're more generous than I am, but we can leave it there. I didn't feel like it had too much holding it up except for the visuals through most of the show.
I still thought she was cute, and I still liked her relationships with everybody in the cast. Dealing with Mikadono sisters as a breeze was also really funny, and I enjoyed the energy of the show overall, so I think that was a runner-up. I'm a diehard My Dress Up Darling fan, and this second season was just as good, if not better, than the first season, so that's the best of.
It was a really good show, so we can put it up there.
With You in the Rain was really good for what it was, but it's also the genre of show that I don't normally watch, and so I'm sat there and I'm torn between putting it in runner-up and average.
Well, here, I'll help you. I thought it was really good. For being a slower show, it kept attention the whole time. Had to pace myself watching it, but it was still a really fun watch.
Scooped Up by an S-Rank Adventurer was pretty cute, and I'm not bothered by rehashing what most people feel are tired storylines, so I put it in average.
It was a fun use of the characters.
I feel like Betrothed to My Sister's Ex could have been higher for me if it hadn't been so much of a misunderstanding show, but if you're gonna do misunderstandings, it should probably be the way that they did it because it wasn't nearly as frustrating as they normally are. I think I'm just gonna put it in average.
I liked how they did their misunderstandings where it didn't really affect character motives much.
You're not screaming at the screen like, why won't you guys just talk to each other? Kaiju No. 8 Season 2 started off just a little bit rough for me, but it ended up maintaining the good quality that we had for Season 1 and a lot of the same really interesting storytelling, so I feel like it was still best of.
Yeah, it kept the action up and had some fun monster fights.
Let's Go Karaoke was my unexpected hit of the season. I think we gave it an 8 in our original review, but it's one of those shows that I just keep thinking about it, even though we've been done for a while, and so I probably should have made it a 9, but it's also best of. The Private Tutor to the Duke's Daughter was one of those where I kept hoping for it to get better, and the story was moving along just enough that I kept thinking to myself, okay, we just finished that arc, so now certainly something cool is going to happen, right? But it didn't, and so this was one where I should have dropped it, so it was a meh.
Yeah, it kept hinting at better stories that just never ended up happening, so...
You watched Vending Machine Season 2. Where do you want to put it for yourself?
I'd say it's solidly in the runnings for average. It's not good, but it's not bad either, and it's keeping me watching it.
After watching Season 1, I just didn't have the energy to keep going with it. Sakamoto Days Season 1 Part 2 had a very different tonality than Part 1, and I think that it's struggling a little bit with an identity crisis, so I honestly kind of feel like it was average.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's trying to do everything at the same time, but it's not doing anything great.
What's the saying? Like...
Jack of all trades, master of none?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Captivated by You is a story that was written by the same author that did Let's Go Karaoke, but it was not nearly as engaging for me personally, and I was kind of like perplexed by the anthology of it the whole time. I think I'm going to put it in meh because I did consider dropping it a couple times, and you watched like one episode, you're like, no.
Yeah, it was not for me.
Then we have The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. which had a lot of interesting characters that I wish that we could just get to know more about them and really dig deep into their backstories. As a whole, the romance is really cute and wholesome, so it's probably runner-up.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that we get a season 2 that lets us explore characters more.
Our final show we have is something that ran through spring and summer, which was Sword of the Demon Hunter, and I really enjoyed the storytelling for this one, even if the animation wasn't the best it could have been all the time, and so I feel like that was a runner-up.
Definitely agree. Even though we certainly hummed and hawed about if we were going to watch it or not, if you follow our videos.
It was still worth watching in the long run. I've been made aware that people really pay attention to the positioning within the tier that you put a show on. And so I guess we need to say which ones are themselves the best of inside their own rows. I think, honestly, Let's Go Karaoke should be second.
You think that's second? Beats out Kaiju number 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
For runner-up, I think it would be Clevatess, Sword of the Demon Hunter, Fragrant Flower, Mikadono Sisters, With You in the Rain. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a solid order for that.
I think average should be Shield Hero, Betrothed to My Sister's Ex, Sakamoto Days. Yeah, I think I can live with that.
Yeah, it seems like a solid.
Captivated by You should be above Private Tutor, because Private Tutor was crap. So I guess then, because Haigakura was the worst thing that we dropped, it should be at the back. Yeah. I think April Showers should be at the front because it was still like a really good show. There was nothing wrong with it. Yuri Show should probably be up a little higher.
Something like that?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so now that we've reordered everything with intent, this would be our final tier list for the summer 2025 anime season.
Obviously, minus the few that we didn't watch because either the show is not done yet or didn't even try and watch, or it's just continuing to air throughout the season. We have our 2 best of the bests, obviously returning seasons.
We knew we were going to like them because we loved season 1. I think where stuff goes a little crazy is the runner-ups and the mez and the dropped.
I think Witch Watch is by far the biggest loser this season.
For us, we didn't know how meta the comedy was going to be, and I didn't like that they focused so much on just acting like a comedy troupe.
Biggest winner was definitely Let's Go Karaoke, going from average to best. So yeah, for sure, the surprise hit of the season.
I mean, Mikadono Sisters went from we thought we might drop it to being runner-up, so...
Yeah, that one's also a pretty solid jump. I don't know, I feel like the best tier...
Reaching best.
Counts as like 2 or 3 tiers.
Yeah, that's true.
Only guessing half of our shows that we might have dropped, though, is a little...
Well, it's hard to know for stuff that has a lot of hype around it, too, or like something like Hotel Inhumans. I feel like they were able to disguise in the trailer that there was going to be a better structure of storytelling than there actually was in the season itself, with the weird pacing and honestly too much of the concierge personalities. So let us know in the comments what your thoughts and feelings were about the shows from summer 2025. And if you're having fun, please like and subscribe.